am at the Wichita Mountains National Wildlife Refuge in Oklahoma. The Wichita Mountains National Wildlife Refuge is the oldest managed wildlife facility of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service system. I usually don't stop by the National Wildlife Refuges, but this place has a lot more than potential wildlife sightings. The landscape of the Wichita Mountains themselves is the highlights. This area is an interesting mix of mountains and prairies. Of course, there is diverse wildlife that calls the Wichita's home, but I'm not sure how much we'll see since it's winter. This is the historic Benjamin Ferguson Homestead on the prairie. It's built out of interesting round granite stones from the mountains, and it was completed in 1927. During World War II, the Army kicked the Fergusons out and used the homestead to expand their artillery range from Fort Sill, and now it's part of the refuge. There's also a plaque about New Deal programs here at the Wichita Mountains, but it looks like the interior isn't exactly preserved. This would be interesting to see as a museum. Looks like the old water tank is in here. Now I'm gonna drive out to one of the most iconic spots in the Wichita Mountains. Well, besides the holy city of the Wichitas, which I have a separate video on, I'd highly recommend a look at that place. There's the visitor center. Unfortunately, it is closed due to the pandemic. I find myself saying that a lot these days. This is the Quanah Parker Lake Dam. This lake is named after Quanah Parker, the last Comanche chief who towards the end of his life lived nearby at Fort Sill in Cache, Oklahoma. He did for a time lead the Red River War against American bison hunting. This dam was built on the Quanah Creek in 1935 by the Civilian Conservation Corps. So this is an authentic CCC Art Deco dam. The Corps and the WPA both did infrastructure work here in the Wichita Mountains during the Depression, including building roads, dams, and fencing. I believe this is the biggest dam around, although it's certainly not Hoover Dam sized, and you can walk out on it. It's mesmerizing to watch the water cascading from the dam. The rocky scenery from the dam and around Quanah Parker Lake is amazing. Not sure what this turnstile was for. Well, this is sort of a wildlife sighting. I found this Texas longhorn on the roadside. There is a herd of Texas longhorns here at the Wildlife Refuge, even though they're certainly not native, and they are descended from the ranching days. Alright, now on a different part of the refuge, gonna go on the Dog Hollow Trail system to try to find the 40-foot hole. Well, I've hiked a little ways and I believe that is the 40-foot hole. A little natural depression and waterfall in that creek. That's cool. I've got one more stop planned here at the Wichita Mountains National Wildlife Refuge. Off in the distance is the Jed Johnson Tower, a 60-foot tall watchtower. So I'm gonna hike the half-mile trail out to see it up close. Here's the Jed Johnson Tower up close. This was a fire watch station built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in 1941. Turns out that it's blocked off and abandoned. Apparently it's structurally unsound, so unfortunately we cannot climb up in it. But the views of Lake Jed Johnson and the Wichita Mountains from the base are still well worth the hike out. I hope you enjoyed this exploration of the Wichita Mountains National Wildlife Refuge. Please consider subscribing to my channel and also like and share this video. I also recommend checking out my other videos on national parks, roadside attractions, historic sites, and much more, including my video on the holy city of the Wichitas, which is just a few miles away. That place is fascinating. Thanks for watching.